Hello everyone and welcome to another Ripple story. This story is called The Boy and the Loon and was told by Chief Lelooska. Many generations ago, there lived a handsome young boy. The people admired him very much because he was tall and straight, and he had a fine voice for singing. On sunny days, the boy would sit in front of his house combing and oiling his long black hair and painting his face. He was born of a noble family and knew that a great heritage awaited him as leader of his people. The boy's favorite place was a small lake deep in the forest behind the village. The lake was surrounded by ancient cedar and hemlock trees. It was a quiet, beautiful place where the boy could bathe and then rub his body with hemlock branches. This ritual would purify him so he could sing the songs of power and call upon the spirits for strength and wisdom. One day, as the boy was preparing to bathe in the cool, dark waters, there was a slight movement in the grass near the shore. The boy saw it and was curious. He put on his robe, strode over to the spot where he had seen the motion, and parted the dense grass. A great loon lay there. It was caught by its long, slender neck in the noose of a mink trap. The loon was weak and close to death. It stared helplessly at the boy. Its strange, red eyes pleaded silently for help. The boy turned to go, but suddenly stopped. He thought of the suffering in the eyes of the poor creature. Wheeling around, the boy knelt down and took out a mussel shell knife that he wore around his neck on a string. He cut the strong sinews of the noose and freed the loon. Immediately the loon began to breathe easier. The boy held the bird against his body to give it warmth. After a while, the loon grew stronger and was able to stand. The boy helped the loon to the shore of the lake and into the water, where it swam slowly away. "Wait," said the boy, "take this. It will heal you." From around his neck, the boy took a necklace made of the ikwa shells so prized by his people for trade and ornament. The boy tossed the beautiful necklace to the loon. It caught on the loon's long neck and spun round and round until it looked like the loon was wearing a white collar of shells. The loon paddled silently out into the lake, circled once, then dove deep into the water. The boy watched and watched for the loon to surface, but it had disappeared. Finally, the boy returned to his place by the lake and took off his robe. He jumped into the water and bathed himself thoroughly. Then he climbed out and rubbed himself with hemlock branches until his skin glowed. The boy wanted so much to be a strong leader for his people. Time passed and, alas, the healthy young boy fell ill. A wasting sickness caused terrible sores to appear on his skin, and his hair and teeth to fall out. The people who had loved and respected the boy were frightened and ran away. Even his friends abandoned him. Most of the day the boy hid in his house, venturing out only in the evening when it was near dark. The boy was weak and ashamed. He knew he would never be able to lead his people now. Not wanting to be a burden to his people, he said goodbye to his parents and friends and left his village. He knew the people would be better off without him, and he thought they would soon forget him. Sick at heart, the boy walked and walked until he saw that he was on the familiar path to the lonely lake. When he got there, he dove into the water, and the cold of the water felt good against his skin. Down, down he sank, into the dark, cold depths. The light faded, and he grew weaker and weaker. Suddenly, the boy felt himself being pulled upward. Up he rose until he reached the surface, and sucked air into his lungs. When the boy looked around, there beside him was a great loon. Around its neck was a necklace of ikwa shells. "I know you," said the loon in a strange, chattering voice. "You were kind to me. You saved me, or at least you thought you did. You were generous. You gave me this fine necklace and your good wishes. Now I will help you. "But how can you help me?" asked the boy. "You are just a loon." "But I am rather more than a loon," said the bird. "Indeed, I am the chief of all loons." Then Loon Chief told the boy how he had often seen him at the lake, bathing and seeking supernatural power. "I wanted to test you, so I put my head into that mink trap," confessed Loon Chief. "Then I waited to see if you would show me a kindness. You did. Now I will heal you." Loon Chief told the boy to climb onto his back. Then together they flew out over the lake. "We will cross the lake 4 times," said Loon Chief. "Each time you must sing the song that I give you. Then I will dive into the lake 4 times. You must hold fast to my neck, because I will go deep to the floor of the lake. There you will see the houses of the Loon people, a secret that has been kept since the beginning of time. I share this secret with you because you are worthy." 4 times Loon Chief sped across the lake. 4 times he dove into the deep waters. The boy felt as if his lungs would burst, but he held on fast. Each time they surfaced, the young boy saw there were fewer sores on his body, and his hair was growing back. On the 4th and last dive, the boy was cleansed of the sickness. "I have healed you," said Loon Chief. "Now I will make you a great shaman, and you will use my power to do good." "Do good for whom?" asked the boy. "For your people," said Loon Chief. "But they hated and feared me when I was sick," cried the boy. "You must forgive your people. You must forget the sickness and remember only the songs of power I give you. You must help the people even though they ignored you in your suffering." "This I will do," said the boy. For a long time, Loon Chief instructed the young man at the lake. Other loons came crowding about, singing and chattering. The boy grew strong and wise. Finally, Loon Chief revealed himself to the boy. He took off his robe and mask and appeared as a handsome, glowing human being. He said to the boy, "You have learned well. I will give you my robe. You must wear it when you counsel and heal the people." With that, Loon Chief draped his robe over the boy's shoulders. "Your life will be long and useful," he said. "In the end, I will see you again. Farewell, young friend. Return to your people now." The boy hurried down the path. As he ran faster and faster, Loon Chief's robe lifted him. He spread his arms wide, and they became wings. The boy flew to the village, settling down in front of the great cedar house where his family dwelled. He folded the robe over his arm and walked in. The people saw him and were frightened. They believed he was a ghost. The boy thought he had been gone 4 days, but actually he had been away for 4 long years. At first the people were wary of the boy, but finally they became used to the idea that he had returned. He began to help people when they were sick or wounded in hunting or fishing accidents. As directed by Loon Chief, he counseled and healed the people. They loved him for all his shaman's wisdom. And when he sang the loon songs, the people knew that all would be well. The boy shaman grew old, and his shiny black hair turned white. One day he heard the loons calling. He knew that it was time to visit the lake for the last time. He put on his loon robe and stood before the people of the village. "I must go now," he said, "but I will not be far away. You cannot see me, but you will hear me in the cry of the loons. Go to the lake and bathe. It is a source of power and healing. I will always be there with my guardian loons." Then the shaman spread his arms and flew into the air. He soared over the tall cedars and hemlocks and vanished into the lake forever. Thereafter, when the people were in trouble, they listened for the cries of the loons. They would go to the lake, seek out its healing power, and remember the young boy who was healed by it and who healed them. They became kind and caring, and tolerant of others. especially those that were in sickness or going through misfortune. Snip, snap, snout, now this tale's told out.